Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with SPR contributor Jordan Sharp. Today we're looking at how those odds have been acting up for the game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. How you doing today, Jordan?
Doing good, Dax. Thanks, man.
All right, bookies opened this one as a pick'em, slightly favoring the Bengals with a minus 125 juice. But since then, that line shifted and now is in favor of the Browns, who are at -1 to -1.5 favorites. And I'm kind of thinking that this had to do with the news that Johnny Manziel is going to be the starter for the team for the first time. Anyways, we'll get back to that in a bit. Steelers and Bengals played last week. Bengals got clobbered 42-21. Colts and Browns. Browns barely beat the Colts 25-20. Lost a close game to the Colts 25-24. Now we got the Bengals coming in 8-4-1 straight up and 6-6-1 against the spread. Browns 7-6 straight up and 7-5-1 against the spread. I've been hearing a lot of rumors that I was going to say midget, but I don't want to throw that one out there, but with the small height that Manziel has, that he might struggle a bit against the Marvin Lewis's Bengals. But I also was reading that he might improve, Josh Gordon might actually get a little bit better on this game with him. I don't know, man. What do you think about this game? It definitely looks like an interesting one for both teams because whoever wins it should be moving up in the division, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, definitely a big AFC North playoff implications in this game. Cincinnati has been a roller coaster this year. The Andy Dalton death train is at full speed ahead for the Cincinnati Bengals right now, and it's even more intriguing, obviously, with Johnny Football starting in this game. So I think you have an extremely volatile situation here with the spread that's already moved from 2 points in favor of Cincinnati to now 1 to 1.5 in favor of the Browns with the news that Manziel is going to start. So you have a lot going on with this game. And, in the end, I'm looking at it, and I think that this game is just one of those where it's a lot more intriguing to watch it on paper than it is in any sort of NFL odds right now, because who knows what you're going to get from either quarterback in this game. And I say that with respect to both of them, but, Manziel's first start and Dalton's, like I said, basically a death train this year. So, it's an intriguing game, but not anything that I am going to put my money anywhere close to, and I would advise everyone out there to do the same. But you're obviously going to have those diehard Northern Ohioans that are going to go all in on the Browns and Johnny Football in this game, and they may pay off for them. But I am personally not going to be riding that train this week.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, it's really a hit or miss with him right now. We really don't know what to expect. I mean, he didn't look that bad last week, but it's still, out there. The jury's still out on him. I don't know, man. I mean, he apparently has a really good relationship with Brian Hoyer and all. Do you think that he's actually going to be starting next year, man?
Oh, I think absolutely. At this point, with how Hoyer struggled and with the fact that they drafted him with their first overall pick, I mean, I think it would be very. It would be a very lateral or regressive move if they sign Brian Hoyer to an extension or a new contract this summer when they have Johnny Manziel. I mean, especially even if Manziel just looks average in these 3 games, it would be a backwards move, I think, and I think that Manziel looks at this as a game that he could potentially play pretty well at. So, I give Andy Dalton crap. You're right. He did look pretty bad last week. It was Tampa Bay 2 weeks ago that he looked horrible. It's that this defense, can still give up some points. And, if Manziel, his weapons aren't bad on that side, on the offensive side of the football for the Browns too. So it really comes down to the Browns defense and what they're going to do in this game. In Cleveland, I guess I'm sitting here talking myself into betting the Browns. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm going to stop right now and just say that if you like it, go ahead. I am not joining you, though.
Yeah, no, I know. And I was also getting to think, Manziel also adds on that he can run the ball a little bit too. So, that's probably going to help him a little bit more on that offensive side of the game. Trying to, do a little bit of those play action plays or the boot, something might go on because he actually can run that ball, and we saw that last week. So it might be interesting. I mean, I'm starting to think about the Browns as well in this case, with the way that the Bengals have been playing. And really, it's not that much. I mean, what are we paying right now? Like -1.5, right?
Yeah, I think it's even at -1, so it's not a bad value right now. I'm just curious. Right now, Bovada has Johnny Manziel's total passing yards this week at 230.5. What are you thinking on over/under on that?
Yeah, I'd probably go on the under on that one, man. I don't see him passing that much. And if he does, he's probably going to be missing a lot of them. I don't think he's going to complete that many. Yeah, I definitely have to go under the 231 because I don't see him passing that much. I mean, how many yards did he have last week in the final game, in the game?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think you're right. Just because there could be some value with some of those props with him this week in passing yards, just because people are going to be all hyped up about him starting, and they think he's going to just come in and drop 350 and 3 touchdowns. If you've watched the Browns play football this year, which granted I haven't got to see a whole lot of them play, but they run the ball a lot, and I don't think that's going to change a whole lot with Manziel. Now, Manziel, a rushing yards prop, we might be able to get behind and look at some value of that. I don't think anybody's going to have those odds out just yet.
I'd say actually we could see him probably rush for maybe a little bit over 30 yards. I mean, I don't think that would be that much. Maybe, I don't know, man. I mean, I want to go a little bit higher, but I think that 40 would be the maximum that I'd go, saying that he could probably rush about 50 yards in this case. That would be my maximum, but I don't know. Would that be a little too low, man?
Yeah, I would say it's somewhere. It'll probably end up somewhere in the high 30s, maybe the over/under somewhere around the 40 mark. But they do have his total TD passes at 1.5. The over will get you plus 160. So obviously they're leaning towards it being less than 2 touchdowns that he's going to throw for. And his odds to score a rushing touchdown are plus 225 from Bovada. So, that's probably putting his line pretty conservatively. But if the Bengals defense doesn't show up, which they've shown that they can, they have played better up until last week. They were actually on a pretty good stretch, but that's the defenses in this game is the big thing. And for Manziel, I think you're right. I think maybe an under on the passing yards prop might be the best wager out of the ones we have now, just because, like we said, the Browns, they're going to run the football. They're going to do what they do. They're going to keep running the football. It's not going to change. I don't think a whole lot with Manziel, and other than Manziel might be doing some of that running. So, I think under 230 passing yards, probably a pretty good wager with that. I'm not touching the spread on this game, though.
Yeah, we talked a lot about it. We still wouldn't convince ourselves.
Nope, can't do it.
All right, good stuff, brother. And let's do this again next week, man.
All right, thanks, Dax.
No problem, man. For SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.